not for the second time, I promise. It is, actually. It is.
As we mentioned in the Chainsaw Man recording, yeah, Red's laptop likes to tank recordings now, so we have a backup going.
Yes, it's in the first Dr. Stone comeback we tried to do, tanked, and then this RWBY. But it's okay, because we've waited a day to refresh our brains from that. So let's talk about it again.
So, that ending, though.
Oh, God. Yeah, so this man is watchdogging.
Yeah, my dude. So, I guess I was kind of right in the last recording with the, potential of Atlas's shit getting patched because there was somebody saying it was dumb for them to leave everything, kind of unprotected or unchanged. Like, I'm sure they patched it, but they did not patch Mantle. So, Ironwood kind of has that fuck you back door, but so does Watts since he wrote the code.
Yeah, it makes me want to see, like, a hacking battle between him, because, like, I was thinking, okay, obviously Watts is so smart, he's just going to be able to surpass that, so who do the good guys have? Oh, wait, the Penny's creator. But then you brought up, oh, wait, he might be the one that Tyrion just killed.
Tail stab!
Ugh, big sad. Crow survived it.
Crow survived it, but
although that is a large pile of blood.
Yeah. Crow is in a little pile of blood. This motherfucker, whoever he stabbed, is, in a foot-long pile of blood, just reaching onto the concrete there like a fucking horror slasher's victim.
Jesus Christ. That was a weird, unnecessary metaphor. Although I can't speak, because when you said foot long, I was going to be like a Jared Fogle $5 foot long.
You made it worse!
I mean, if there was one RWBY villain that would be a little bit on the creeper side, would it not be Tyrion? Who are you the most scared to find in an alleyway, David?
The mister with the laugh like this.
Bro, like, I want to do can you imagine, like, a whole analysis video on, like, evil laughs done right versus wrong? Like comparing, like, the Joker evil laugh to, like, Tyrion's forced cringy evil laugh.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
God, done it in a while, but,
like, laugh.
I always go back to that first one, bro. Like, that first one.
It went on 30 seconds too long.
No, I mean, more realistically, I think I described it as going on about 3 seconds too long, because it was like, all right, perfect time to end it, and fade to black would be now, and then it just kept going, and I was like, stop it.
No, stop it. You're trying way too hard, man.
But yeah, Tyrion's back, and I'm glad also, I think that, I always like it when a show writer does a very good, like, balance of power, because, like, nothing's interesting about the villains just being so OP that they stomp everyone. Look to Aizen and Bleach, right? Like, when all the fucking captains attacked Aizen and he literally he wiped them out in one chapter, that was some of the dumbest shit. And not to say that chapter wasn't cool, it was. But, I mean, like, at the end of the day, what's way more interesting, something like the Uvo versus Shadow Beast fight, something like My Villain Academia that we just got. It was a pretty even battle, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot more interesting and honestly a lot more threatening, because it shows your villains have to go through, use cunning and wit to beat things, not just being OP, right? So, like, I like that Tyrion is, like, uncomfortable and nervous about. He's like, Jesus, it makes me I hate walking around here, because, like, we got to be extra careful to, like, either hide our face or, like, dip these cameras or whatever. And speaking of that, we noticed at the end that a camera did see that puddle of blood, which makes me think that, like, drones are going to be sent out there, and then they're going to find his dead body, and then, like, the beginning of the next episode is going to be like, holy fuck, that guy died, if you're right in saying that is the Penny's creator that just died.
Yeah, so that ties into the upgrade episode we're going to have next week, or the potential upgrade episode.
Banana hair incoming!
Banana hair incoming.
No. Okay, so I need to know the pitch. I need to know next episode, whose idea is it? Who goes up to John like, John, listen, you look great, but you know what would make you look better? Short, blonde, fuckboy hair. Listen, your old girlfriend's dead, okay? What is the next option other than to become a man whore? Just fuck everybody. That's how you drowned out your sorrow. David? Accurate?
Listen, when I was in college, I was a bit of a fuckboy, okay?
David, a soliloquy of David's life. When I was in college, I was a bit of a fuckboy. Can that be the title of your autobiography? A Bit of a Fuckboy by David Buchanan.
You know what? Not even when we're famous, when we get to like 100,000 subscribers, I'll make it a Patreon exclusive.
He says win. Nah. Better yet, I'll put it on your gravestone. I'll be like, listen, I was his best friend. You're just gonna have to trust me. That's what he wanted on his grave.
Right by my funeral pyre, there's this great big stone. David Buchanan,
a bit of a
fuckboy.
and then I could bring every fucking like past girlfriend, and then they could be like, yeah, uh-huh.
I hate you.
But I mean, to be fair, you could put on mine like a little virgin like beta boy.
Yeah, no.
We're two sides of the we're opposing sides of a coin, friend.
You're not wrong. The virgin who devoured 50 fucking Taco Bell boxes a day.
Man, you act like I really didn't. Okay, like stop it with this Taco Bell fucking slander.
My dude, I bagged the boxes.
I mean, they were delicious. Well, anyway, what were we talking about with RWBY again? Oh yeah, Jean, here. Right? So Jean's gonna be a fuckboy now with his dumb fucking hair, and I don't understand. Like who is the one that's gonna? And like, listen, I will be disappointed in Nora if she doesn't call him out on this. Like, this is a laugh moment. Nora better look at this guy and be like, really? That's what you're going with, huh? Okay.
Speaking of Nora, this video should open with me getting hit by Nora's hammer.
We went to a Comic-Con, and we met Nora's voice actress, and my friend Andy created a replica Nora hammer for David to be booped by Nora's voice actress. That clip will be at the beginning of this video. She was amazing.
She was amazing. And also, her fucking response to the little tiny hammer.
She was like, it's like, yeah, she saw it in the corner of her eye, and she was like, oh, it's like a Nora hammer for a baby. Exactly like that. It's like for babies.
And you're just like, it's for chibi Nora.
Yes, that's so cute. Oh my god. I love it too, because like she was really concerned when we asked her to boop you with it, and then we were like, no, it's like made out of foam. Like, relax.
And she's like, so I can really go for it?
Yeah, and I was waiting for David to just be like, just hit me! I live for this!
You do know my coworkers know about this channel now.
I mean, first of all, David, if that becomes a liability, you need to leave the channel, friendo, because like we can't change ourselves for your dumb coworkers.
I know.
Listen, I don't know any of you fucks. If you watch this, you gotta understand the channel comes first. We can't stop our BDSM humor.
I love the fact that this is slowly spreading throughout my work now, and everybody's like, "Wow, you're kind of a freak."
Yes, but I am too. Don't worry, we all enable each other in a perpetual cycle of enabling. Then it just gets worse.
For better or for worse.
You know how, like, you have that friend that you try to keep one-upping in dark humor to make them laugh? That's what we've been doing on this channel for 3 years. 3 years of one-upping each other in dark humor. It leads you to some interesting
one
places.
Nazi joke away from getting fucking
I don't
canceled.
make Nazi jokes. That's one of the few territories I don't delve into, actually. Way too risky. Instead, I make capitalism jokes.
Or Trump jokes.
But that Trump jokes are low-hanging fruit. Everyone knows he's shit. Why are we talking about this? Really? All right, but no, so like, what's the context? Like, obviously they're going to get an upgrade weapon-wise because they're in this area that has really good science and shit. But where does but also you should like make your clothes different and change your hair. Like, who the fuck?
Well,
I want to know the canonical reason, because normally it's because of a time skip. In anime type things, it's like time skip.
Listen. To be fair, they are in a militaristic.
Did you just listen to me? Man,
yes.
Listen, my rants are the top thing of this channel. Okay?
I'm putting it out there. I'm the Navi of this one. They're in a military city. Of course they're going to make prim and proper uniforms, and they're going to buzz the hair. They're going to make everything all perfect for the serving Atlas.
You think that's going to be there? So like the Aesops are going to come in and be like, you can't fight with long hair like that. We're about to get all fucking rough and tough right now.
More than likely. I mean
it does make sense, like strategically speaking, like in a fight you want to have shorter hair because like you don't want people to be able to grab your shit.
Right.
Oh, maybe. I'll be curious of the canonical reason. And also, Penny is just amazing. And I love that Penny it's cool because I found myself thinking as I watched this, like, oh, like this is making me nostalgic for the early days of RWBY. And then she even has a line. It's just like Beacon. You're gonna have dorm rooms, and it's awesome because like I was talking to Nora's voice actress about this actually at the con. About how I preferred, I kind of missed the happy-go-lucky times of RWBY. And it's funny because Nora's voice actor, are you ready for some, like, cancerous information? You know how Nora got, like, big, like, backstory shit in Volume 4?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when I wasn't, like, rude about it. I was just, like, talking about how I thought Volume 4 and 5 were a little weaker. Because, you know, I'm a mad lad like that, and I just say it to them. You've always told me, like, I say shit that you would never say.
You do.
So no, I was just telling her that like Volume 4 and 5 I thought were like a little weak, but then Volume 6 and 7 so far have been amazing. And she was like, "You take that back for Volume 4." But then I specified and I was like, it was mostly the fight choreography and like yada yada. And I think it was a little shaky. And then she was like, "Oh, okay, but the story you were good with." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure." I didn't want her to think I was dissing on the Nora flashback.
Well, I mean, story-wise, it was amazing. It was just the pacing was abysmal.
I mean, I didn't bother to like. I thought the character. What I specifically said to her was the character stuff was good because I didn't want her to think that I was shitting on the Nora flashback because I had no problem with the Nora flashback. What I didn't like story-wise from Volume 4 was the introduction of like the MacGuffins with the relics and the maidens and the yada and the gods and it was just too much information at once. They should have slowed that down, I think.
Yeah.
But speaking. Speaking to Nora, Nora's voice actress, I was telling her about how cool like the old stuff was, and I think that RWBY to me was always a show of like fun and like a kind of a fooly cooly type show, right? Like if you look back to Volumes 1 and 2, it really just felt like it wasn't really going anywhere. It was just kind of like fun, wacky adventures in this world that's really colorful and vibrant and exploding with creative energy, you know? Like, that's what feels cool about RWBY's characters and RWBY's world. RWBY is at its best when, like, it is a world that you feel like, I want to be part of that world, right? It's very One Piece in that nature. It's like, the world's colorful, the characters are colorful, and there's a canonical reason for that, because there was, like, a war on creativity or something, so then everyone named their kids after colors, and everyone's fashion is wacky, crazy, and they're in, like, an era of creativity rebirth. And it just and that's shown in their weapons. You know, I imagine there was an era in the RWBY world where weapons were just boring like ours, and then now that they're in this era of like, fuck that, let's be wacky, creative individuals. They make shit like a hammer that has a jet in it, or a, you know, RWBY's scythe gun, or a goddamn trumpet, you know. So like that's what I always loved about RWBY. And 4 and 5 kind of missed that, and it got boring for a while. And then they brought back the fun with Volume 6 and the mech shit. So,
but Red and Volume
all this
4
to say, hold on, I'm literally like one sentence away, and then I'll hand it over to you. All this to say, I'm happy to see Penny back because she kind of represents that like fun, vibrant, creative RWBY. And also I was happy to hear that line about it'll be just like back in Beacon, because again it brings me back to that like old RWBY that I fell in love with. Go ahead.
So you were mentioning there like you hated the fucking lore dump that was Volume 4's story-wise.
When you have to do it carefully when you dump information like that, because if you do it too quickly it comes off as an author just kind of like, I don't know, like revealing all their cards too soon, I guess.
Kind of like Forrest did in the beginning of this episode.
Forrest? Yeah. Good, thank you for reminding me. That was actually something I brought up in the last recording. The kind of revolutionary rioter guy, which that scene was amazing, by the way, because he was like, I was arrested for speaking up against the government, and he's just like, you threw a brick at our ship. That's amazing.
I love the fact that it's played by Eric Bardor of Mega 64. Also, fucking Achievement Hunters, basically soundboard that just exists in the booth. If you're an Achievement Hunter fan that watches Off Topic, they've literally made a soundboard of like different sounds of like, yeah, baby, and all that shit.
That's great. Yeah, but I mean, with him,
I just want him to say, yeah, baby, once.
But yeah, with him though, like, that's another example of like one of the more, and this is just because I'm trying to make this a review, you know, we can't just gush forever. So like if I have to give it, overall I love this episode, but like that was a point where I was like, here's a weakness of Team RWBY, and it is exposition. Whenever they need to give information, it's very like forced and contrived. It's like, how are we going to give information about this character that's going to be like a Bernie Sanders type character, you know, someone running outside of the establishment of politics, you know, and if you don't like Bernie Sanders and you don't want me to be political, that could be anyone. Like Donald Trump is outside of the establishment, Andrew Yang is outside the establishment, the Green Party, the Libertarian Party, someone running outside of the established expected to win party. She's a politician, and we have many people point out to us in the comments last week that Watts seems to be hacking and manipulating the elections, which is funny. I imagine Team RWBY is going, you know, with all the quote-unquote Russia hacking our elections shit going on, I imagine that's where they're going with this, since that's kind of a hot-button issue, right? So, like, yeah, I mean, that was them introducing her, and she's interesting, and I'm interested in her, because I love that political angle. The more I've gotten into politics, I love that political angle, but, like, yeah, that could have been maybe established. I think a show don't tell rule would have been better for that. Like seeing her.
She's done this. She's taking it from the rich. She's doing all this fantastic thing.
She's literally.
She is literally Robin fucking Hood.
Right, and you notice how they gave her rap sheet through a guy literally just like reading off her respect thread, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like a better move there would have been show her doing that, right? Like just show it, like. Yeah. I'm trying to give a good example. Like, she could have been someone that maybe, like, came down there and, like, saved them from the Aesops and, like, said, like, oh, those dirty authoritarian punks, like, you know, don't let yourself get caught by them again, and then they round the corner and get caught by a different group. You know what I mean? Like that would be a good way. Yeah, that's how you do it. Like, just show, don't tell. It's just little things like that. That's not a big criticism. I love this episode, but that's a little thing that could have been better, for sure.
Yeah, but continuing along that path, like, you hated the info dump. We also kind of and you love the fact that we have this return to Beacon mentality coming out of Penny. Are we going to get, like, full-on Beacon, like Dragon Graham fucking invading?
Well, not a literal return to Beacon. I think they just more meant, like, in the sense that you'll be in a dorm. Like,
you're in a dorm.
And maybe that's their way of saying, like, well, there'll probably be a lot of dark elements here, but, like, I have a feeling that they'll have some, like, lighter, fun tones in the middle of the season, I'm guessing. I mean, maybe not. Unless, of course, you're right, and fucking Penny's creator is the one that got killed there. I don't know if, like, do you have any, like, proof for that? Like, was it at his place? I haven't gone back and rewatched it, or was it just a random door? Because I didn't notice.
I was, well, by now everybody's heard that we were at the con through all the different videos.
Oh yeah, you watched it through like your shitty small screen, right?
I was literally sitting in the game room watching it. I had to actually exit the game room to get better signal because for some reason DeVos Hall sucks for signal. Yeah. So I'm sitting there in the hallway.
I mean, if you're right, and that is the
case.
I
was finishing. And I was reading the comments as my video was loading, and there's like a lot of people like, that was literally the same. Like, the RWBY fandom is really, really good at observing details to a fucking bizarre level. Like, that was the exact location of Penny's lab, and I'm like, is it? And I went back and was watched a bit of episode 1 where they're there, and it looks like the same image, basically, like the same side of the road that they were on when they entered that building, so it very well could be. Otherwise, it's just them returning to static backdrops, which would suck. But, yeah, if that's the case, like, I picture, since he's the craftsman of the city, it seems like that might have been where they were going to get the upgrades, because they don't want to use the military tech, so to speak, but they kind of do, and it seems like Penny's creator does all, like, the upgrades for not only just the arm for fucking Yang, but repairing Penny. He seems to be the more teched out guy inside the city, so maybe he was going to build them some super fucking weapons instead of John's extendo sword.
Yeah.
It just gets girthier.
And he got that after Pyrrha was dead. Push F in the chat. Bro, there's some good Pyrrha John fanfics, by the way. Just
there really is.
Yeah.
Don't be like Red and wanting to show Nora's voice actress.
I didn't actually want to do that. That was a joke. But that was a joke, David. I would never actually There was something funny to me about, like, having Nora Hentai on my phone in the same room as the voice actress.
I opened one of my chats and I realized, oh shit, that's Nora. That's Nora Hentai, and I'm going up to the moon.
That's pretty fucking
close chat. But the joke was, you wanted to show her the one of Nora riding the Scythian.
Because it's amazing. We've talked about that before, so we won't go into it, but it is pretty amazing. Just go to there's a great subreddit called RWBY NSFW. Okay, and it's exactly what you expect. Sort by top of all time, you get some good shit. You'll get more Futanari than you'd expect, but other than that, some good shit. Unless you're into that, in which case, you go. You do you. Let's see. Other things to talk about, David. What do you think?
So with everything that went down between the meeting of uncuffing, or I don't even want to call them cuffs. You have 10 seconds
to uncuff them before I start hurting you. Yes,
I don't even want to call them cuffs. They're bindings, okay?
Sure. Same diff. Whatever. Mr. fucking BDSM, man.
I still want them to exist in real life.
Oh, like the oh, right, we made that joke. You just throw someone, you Tinder date, they just walk in, you just toss them, like, we're starting right now. That's funny. Let's see. But no, I wanted to talk about Ironwood, because this boy's sus as fuck, okay? I talked about this
He's sus as fuck, but the hug was awkwardly wholesome.
You know my theory, so here. I have things to say, and then I'll hand it off to you, okay? So, I mentioned in the last recording that this guy is so paranoid, and just so, like, we've seen his paranoia. We've seen what his paranoia has done to this city. I don't believe for a second that he actually gave her back that relic, because there's a rule in writing called subverting expectations, right? And sometimes you do a double subverting. And my theory here, and we'll see if I'm right, is that they're trying to subvert our expectations. So, like, I think that the first subverting was, oh man, wow, we expected him to be a dick, but, like, he's chill. He untied them. He shared with them his plans. He actually said, he was really chill with the RWBY thing, like, hey, you guys brought it here to be a dick move if I took it. I don't want you to think I'm hiding anything from you. Give us it back. That already, to me, is just it comes off as too nice, too easy. I don't see everything going that smoothly. I feel like Ironwood is the kind of person that he clearly has an I know best mentality. His entire character mentality in this town, in this city, in this country, whatever the fuck it is, his mentality is, the citizens are only mad because they don't know any better. I know best for them, so therefore I will rule, even though they'll hate me. I know best, right? And if you follow the logical end to that mentality, it is he would never fucking give her that relic back. You know what I mean? So that's just character writing right there. Consistent character writing would dictate that he would not give her back the real relic. That also leads me to think that maybe that hug with Crow wasn't as genuine as we thought. It was a great moment, but, like, I somehow feel like it's going to be revealed later that, like, he slipped, like, a tracking thing on Crow or something. Like, it just seems too good to be true with a man as paranoid as Ironwood. All right, David, your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's uber paranoid. Obviously, he's withdrew all the military back to the city. Wants to launch a fucking satellite to communicate.
He wants to tell everyone about Salem, which is a big deal, considering the negative emotions draw Salem thing. Or negative emotions draw Grimm thing.
Yeah, which immediately, like, red flags. This is going to set off, like, the world's biggest panic attack. There will be suicides from every which way. There's going to be death, mayhem, looting. It's going to be fucking anarchy.
I know you said looting, but looting. Thank you. All death, mayhem, and looting.
So everything is going to shit. Might as well
all
just
those hentais of, like, Grimm fucking the RWBY characters will finally come true.
Why did I know you would go there?
There are too many of those, by the way. Too many.
There really are.
Anyway, as you were saying.
It also comes to thought that no motherfucker's been to space. There is no Elon Musk in this fucking
space travel's not a thing in RWBY world, which is fascinating considering their technology, yeah?
Yeah, especially within Atlas. But all of the military is in this one city. The rest of the world's going to go to shit. I'm sorry, but
that's a good point. Yeah, he's kind of built himself like a Noah's Ark as the world goes to hell, and he's not even concerned about the rest of the world because he's like, well, we'll be safe. Yeah.
We'll be safe, fuck the rest of the goddamn world. As long as I'm the king in my castle,
That's
I don't give
large
a fuck.
oof.
But like, think about how I get with all eyes on him as essentially the culprit behind Beacon's fall. With all the technology, the massacres that came from the robots that got hacked, with Watts and the rest of the fucking Sender's team. I get that he's paranoid as fuck. He's got PTSD, all that shit. But you have to think for more than a second here, like, wait, am I a fucking moron?
He's clearly a guy who thinks he knows best. Because I haven't seen I don't know, like, I think he's really, I don't know how to, yeah, I guess because his wording was, well, fucking Ozpin's gone now, so I have to do what I have to do what I have to do what I think is best. And I think that he has probably spent a long time thinking about this, and it seems like after much wording and deliberation, he kind of had to force himself, like, I just gotta do something, right? And I gotta just stop worrying about it, stop thinking about it, and just trust my instinct. The problem is his instinct is semi-authoritarian, because he does have that mentality of like, well, you know what, fuck their happiness whether or not, like, because I don't think he's not concerning himself about the freedom of his citizens or the happiness of his citizens. At this point, he looks at the world as a war zone. He knows this knowledge of, mass hysteria, and he knows that, like, the world is just one little mistake away from total annihilation, essentially. And I think that there's a great quote, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? So when you're a general in an army, like Ironwood, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So to him, every solution is militaristic in nature. You know what I mean? Whereas Ozpin was, he was trying to play the subversive game. Keep it peaceful, keep it private, keep the relics hidden between underneath all the schools, not let anyone find out. And and we saw these arguments. You can go back to volume 2 and 3. Like, they decided to tell Ironwood about this, but they kind of regretted it because he immediately got paranoid as fuck. And then you can kind of see Ozpin, like, low key, like, God damn it, why did we tell Ironwood? Like, fucking damn it,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I'd be curious,
brought
like,
your army to my school.
It's interesting because what mentality do you agree with between Ozpin's and Ironwood's? Because, like, I see both sides here.
Yeah, same.
Because Ozpin's mentality, obviously, it's a giving up mentality. Because he asked Jin. Jin was like, you can't beat her. And she's, like, supposedly this, like, force of all knowledge given by the gods, right? So Jin is like, nah, you can't beat her. So Ozpin, of course, takes this mentality of defeatism, and he just, like, says, okay, well, we're just gonna hide them all at these four corners of the earth underneath, really strong militaries and a bunch of students that can also protect it, and hope that works, and keep it secret, and kind of play the long game. Whereas the problem with that mentality is it'll never end. You'll never beat her, and you're in a constant state of, like, Cold War, essentially. Whereas Ironwood wants to end it. Ironwood's like, no, that isn't gonna work. We need to fucking accelerate this situation so we can fucking end the situation. And this actually there's a real political struggle like this. Like, accelerationists are a group of people that are like, I've talked to accelerationists before. There are people that actually believe that, like, someone like Trump being elected is a good thing because it awakens, like, the general working class. It awakens people as to how bad politics are, and then it accelerates to, like, an actual, like, protest and, like, a revolution, because shit has to get really bad before normal people will protest and revolt. So
in a way, we see that happening.
Exactly, and that's an accelerationist point of view. So I think Ironwood, that's kind of where he's going with this. I'm going to tell Salem, and we're all going to band together as a world and take her the fuck down. But obviously the problem then lies in the fact that he did not see what Ozpin and the rest of the group saw, which is Jin saying, you can't fucking beat her. You literally can't.
And RWBY withholding that knowledge because she doesn't know
RWBY
if she can even...
lying. Oh my god.
Which I see why she's lying, because she doesn't know.
I'm into it, actually. It's a really cool character moment for her because, like, she's for a long time been like, you've heard the term like a Mary Sue.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I'm using that term right, but like basically like generic main character, right? Like
generic main character that has everything handed to her, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. So like for a while, she's just kind of been like, I'm the cute girl. I'm the protagonist. I'm a nerdy cute girl protagonist, and that's all I am, right? But like it's kind of adding more layers to her character to see her like straight up lie to Ironwood like this for like clear like trying to protect Ozpin/Oscar reasons, or for not trusting Ironwood reasons. It's very interesting.
Yeah. So you were asking, which I kind of believe in. Like you were saying, like we have Ironwood, coming from more of a military family / corrections family background. Obviously I see that side a lot because that's in my upbringing, having that gotta protect everything by all means, blah 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 blah. Whereas I'm the black sheep of the family that doesn't really. But anyway, and with Ozpin's idea of like hiding the relics, obviously, really, really just the giving up aspect of it sucks, because you always should try to fight the good fight. You should always try to fucking, at least die trying, basically. So obviously, I lean more towards Ironwood, but I do see the smart in both of them. Like,
to me, the deciding factor here is the fact that Jin, this like all-knowing thing that can answer every question, said you can't beat her. I understand giving up at that, because Ozpin didn't give up till that, and like I really don't know what you do after that.
Yeet the bitch into the sun.
Right. I mean, we did say in the past recording that you could obviously JoJo Part 2 this bitch, which is, if you don't know JoJo, they launched the fucking final villain into space, where he died in space. Yeah.
But, yeah, like, we don't even know if that would stop her.
Who knows? I mean, like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
In fact, this makes me want to go back and rewatch her fucking flashback, because that shit was good.
That was really one of the best parts of Volume 4, 5, and 6, is that fucking shit. I guess,
final thoughts, predictions?
So, yeah, the last thing I want to say on the whole, like, Ironwood bit is, like, with RWBY lying to protect everything, you had mentioned in the previous recording, like, the Blake blushing when they were showing the new gear.
Yeah, so just to recap what I'm talking, in the last recording, I was confused about, like, when they brought up, like, the hologram image of her, like, oh, you need an upgrade on your weapons or whatever, and it showed Blake. I assumed it was in her fight with Adam, and maybe that's why she's embarrassed, but she did this weird little, like embarrassed noise, which was cute as fuck, by the way, but I was very confused as to what she was embarrassed. Oh, yeah, I was very confused as to what she was embarrassed by, and if anyone knows, let me know. Like, we had a long conversation about it, and I just really have no idea.
There's obviously no way to recapture the conversation we had.
Yeah, but, so yeah. Just if you have any idea, let me know, because I really was confused about that. Like, what she was embarrassed by. Was it the skimpiness of her clothing in that one? Because I remember her coat got cut off, and we made the joke in that review, like, slightly lewder Blake. Maybe that, although she doesn't seem like the type to be embarrassed by that.
Right.
She also kind of like looked at Yang's direction, so are they leaning towards that? Was it just because they were recording her fight with Adam? I don't know.
Yeah, and that raises another fucking question here. Like, how much of their travel has been recorded by Atlas? If that's the case.
They got almost. I mean, they're about to make a goddamn satellite, so I imagine they have what you could assume is drones everywhere.
Well, I mean, we've seen the drones, but like, we never saw them in shot. So it's
right,
like,
but I mean, like, that's a very easy retcon. Like, they were just always there. You could easily see that.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. Like, how, like, was it just when they were getting close to Atlas, or were they near Atlas personnel? Obviously, with Volume 6, we had them, fucking dealing with Crazy Lady. So that would make sense during that part, but even the Trek in 4 and 5, were they being recorded then? Were they being recorded from the outgoing episode of Volume 3? It just raises how much Atlas actually knows. And that would weigh into, like, the relic aspect, because if they've been followed from then, Ironwood already knows that RWBY's lying.
Oh, fuck. Yo! Bruh. Wait a minute. If that's the case, oh, bro. That basically confirms my theory then. Because, like, then him giving back the relic, the hug, that would all be fucking like, bitch, I know you lying. Therefore, I'm not giving you the rare relic, and I'm putting a fucking extra tracker on Crow. I can totally see it.
Yeah. You know, just rambling there, I'm like, wait, what?
Well, it's a good ramble, because then if it's right, you can fucking do an I called that dance.
Yeah.
Checking used to do these things in the old day of his channel called Called That Shit dances.
Oh my god.
That was good times. Final thoughts.
So
I have to upload Chainsaw Man.
Final thoughts. Like, so if it's Penny's creator's death, now she's in permadeath mode.
Oh, yes. Thank you for continuing to bring up points that I made in the last video. Yeah, no, I made the point, like, they could very well go down the path, like, if her creator did just die, then they could add extra stakes to Penny's character, because obviously now, you know, you could be like, well, there's no stakes to Penny dying because she's a robot, and they can always bring her back. But they could very well say, well, the only person with the intelligence to bring her back was him, and now he's dead, therefore, if Penny dies again, she's legit dead. So, yeah.
Or we could go down the route of evil Penny with Watts being, you know, of the same.
Yeah, did you see Dishwasher did like an art Dishwasher did an art on that? Did you see that?
No, I did not yet.
Oh, bro. Oh, I need it. And you know the rule of Dishwasher. If he arts it, it happens.
It usually does.
Oh, bro. Evil fucking Penny hacked by Watts. Give it to me.
That would be so bad. RWBY.
I want an evil salutations. Like salutations. Because salutations can mean like hi and bye, can't it?
What?
Because can't salutations mean hot, hello, and goodbye?
I think so.
So imagine like a salutations as she's like about to like decapitate RWBY. Like salutations.
Salutations.
No, that was dumb. Yours was dumb.
I mean, it's me. But
Penny is not a fuckboy. Your evil and fuckboy are the same voice.
You're kind of right, and it's depressing as shit.
What's up? I'm an evil fuckboy.
Oh, but yeah, it would be like the biggest. I don't even know what to call it to RWBY. Like, oh right where it hurts.
We do know that Lindsay, the voice actress for RWBY, I've seen her not in person at a panel, but in like a video on YouTube. She said that her favorite ship is Nuts and Bolts, which is RWBY Penny. So, just saying.
Yeah. So imagine.
Fuck Weiss. Now that Penny's back, it's time for some sex bot action for RWBY. She's got a sex bot now.
You know what? I'm just done. And the goddamn video.
Tell me Penny wouldn't be down for that. If RWBY asked, Penny would be like, absolutely. I don't know what this sex is, but if it's with you, RWBY, I'm sure it'll be fun. What could go wrong?
And the goddamn video.
Peace.